Well, good evening, friends. Welcome to Friar Side Chat. I'm your deep fat friar, Pastor Andrew. Have you ever asked the question, what comes next? Have you ever thought, I wonder how this is going to end up? I'll tell you, our guest tonight is someone who has the ability to see the finished product when the canvas is blank. He can see the end even when the middle seems like scribble. So tonight, to answer that question of how do we trust what comes next, is a dear friend and a very talented man. His name, which I'm sure is no surprise to any of you, is Mr. Boss. Mr. Rob Boss, a painter. Rob Boss, are you there? Are you there, Rob? Are you there?
Well, good evening, Friar. It's so good to be here with you in this happy little moment, to make these happy little memories. I'm just getting a canvas ready here, get my signature on that and write my verse. There we go. We can get started soon.
Well, it is a happy little moment, and we're glad to have you here with our happy little show. I see that you have a canvas there. Could you tell us why you started painting and what exactly is it that you'll be painting this evening?
Well, I'd be happy to tell you about that. I began painting because I saw God's beautiful creation, and I wanted to share that with others. And as for today's painting, I mean, you can see it. Of course you can see it. You can see it, can't you?
Well, I certainly agree. God's beauty is amazing. But all I see is a blank canvas. That can't possibly be what you're painting today, is it?
Well, Friar, that's the difference between us. I see what will be on the canvas, and you can only see what is. You know, that reminds me of a verse. In fact, it's my favorite life verse. It says, "You saw me before I was born. Every single day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before you, before even a single one had passed." That's found in Psalm 139:16. Much like as an artist, I see the picture while the canvas is blank. I know what is to come. God does that with our lives. He already knows the end, from the beginning. Before we even have taken a breath, God knows what's next, and so we can trust Him.
Now, let me make sure I understand what you're saying. God already knows the picture that is being painted in our lives, and the time that it takes is just God allowing that to be completed?
Well, that's exactly right, Friar. God knows everything about us. He knows those happy little moments. He knows those man-made mistakes. He knows the beginning from the end, and He knew all that before the earth was even created. That's why, as followers of Jesus, no matter what we're going through, we can trust that He will guide us through it, and He will be with us, because He's already seen it, and He knows the path. Last touch. Well, actually, it's finished. Let me show you the picture that was there the whole time.
That is absolutely beautiful. How did you do that?
Well, Friar, I saw the end from the beginning. I knew it, what was there. I just had to get it onto the canvas. You see, I can do that with a painting, but I'm so thankful that God does that with our lives. He knows the end from the beginning in every step of the way. Well, I better get going. We're having a happy little get-together tonight at the house. We'll be having some happy little pizza and happy little chicken. I know what comes after that. Happy little heartburn. But, Friar, until the brush brings us together again, happy portraits.
Well, there you have it, friends. As followers of Jesus, we are blessed to serve a God who knows the end from the beginning. In fact, as what we may see as a blank canvas, He sees as the finished picture. So this week, will you join me, your deep fat friar, in trusting the promises of Psalm 139, verse 16, that everything that is our lives, God has already seen, He already knows, and He cares for us through it? If we will do that together, the painting will be beautiful. Thanks again for joining us, friends, here on Friarside Chat. As always, I'm your deep fat friar, Pastor Andrew.